Con motivo del nuevo lanzamiento de la banda de Herman Frank, Two for a Lie, el ex guitarrista de Accept, el hombre que estuvo en la banda alemana desde el 82 al 84 y también en su segunda etapa del 2010 al 2014, tiene su nuevo disco y con él estuvimos hablando, conversando largo y tendido con una leyenda, el guitarrista alemán Herman Frank.
Uruguay, but I am now in the Netherlands.
Okay, so it's not that far.
Well, really, well, like neighbors, we can say that.
Give me a couple of hours so we do it face by face. Did you get a chance to listen to the album?
Yes, I had it, of course.
Cool.
Really good one. It's,
so much.
I found it more direct. Well, it has 10 songs, 4 songs less than your previous album. So
yeah, I mean, I was talking to the record company about this, and then they said every band more or less is bringing it down a little bit, you know, because in the past, then somebody came up with 12 songs, the next one with 13 songs. So they ended up by 17, 18 songs sometimes, and they say that's not worth it. Do a good album, 10 songs, that's enough, but
yeah.
And
yeah.
If it's over then 40 minutes or 42 or 44, that's kind of like okay.
Yeah, perhaps with
Spotify you can't afford any more songs.
Yeah, or sometimes perhaps it takes a bit long to listen to the whole album.
I mean, every song you're doing more takes you 2 or 3 days more in the studio, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go for 14 songs, you have 4 songs. Yeah. So you're spending 12, 14 days more in the studio. That costs money. Exactly. Oh, that's the truth.
And also these times.
Yeah, sad but true.
Yeah, indeed.
Thanks, Mr. Spotify.
Let's start with the title of the album, Two for a Lie.
Yeah.
Is there any meaning behind that, or any story behind?
I mean, when you do a new album, people expect an album title which means something. So, actually, I came up with this line by accident. There's a song on the LP called Venom, the second one.
Yeah.
And there's a lyric line, truth or a lie? Truth. So when I sent it out, my demo song to Rick, so he started trying to sing back his line. He sent it back maybe with a little bit bad mix. So I understood two for a lie. And I said, hey, that's a line for the cover, for the album title. Because in the same second, I got the picture in my mind from the album cover. Two people scream each other. And I mean, this is so obvious and so common. If there are two people or more than two people, the chance for a lie is given, you know. And these days, especially with our political situations or something, I mean, two for a lie, that happens every day.
Yeah, indeed.
I'm in the way it shouldn't happen. Still, I'm still would fight for it. I'm a really honest guy, and I don't like liars. Mm-hmm. Actually, I don't like people they lie to me. I rather prefer they tell me straightforward. These are the facts, and that's the situation. I can handle this, but I don't like if people start lying, you know. And so I said to myself, oh, this might have happened to everybody in the world so far. Two for a lie.
So you're in the cover. Who is the other guy that you're shouting at?
Everybody who's lying to me. I mean, I stand for. Obviously, I stand for the good guy. So the whatever the mommy or the puppy stands for the liar.
In a previous interview a couple of years ago, I read that you were saying that it doesn't mean that by getting older, the way of making albums is getting easier. Was this new album tough for you to make it?
I mean, quite honestly, every album is kind of like tough. I mean, you always hope that you come up with at least 10 songs. I mean, that's not easy. For the first album, there's a line that it says, for the first album, you have your lifetime. For the next one, maybe 1 or 2 years. So you have to write an album in between 1, 2, or 3 years. And it's tough to come up with some new stuff and new riffs. And I'm really looking for kind of like catchy guitar riffs for each song. So that's kind of like tough. And I'm always happy when I get lucky and come up with 10 songs. But the way to put it together, if you have all the ideas for all the 10 songs, it's easier if you have experience to record them or to produce them or arrange them. But to come up with the ideas is still the same toughness.
Mm-hmm. But if you listen to the album, the songs that start Teutonic Order, then Venom, then Hate, it's like a really catchy songs, really go right to the nail.
That's what I was looking for, you know. I mean, I always hope that it's catchy from the first 10 seconds on, you know. That's the reason why I do like to have a catchy riff.
Yeah.
I mean, like the old school songs. I mean, if you think about Rainbow or Ted Nugent or stuff like that, or the older hits, they always have a catchy thing in there.
That you keep in mind.
Yeah, or when Scorpions started whistling.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows the song right from the start on. That was, wow.
For sure.
And there are a lot of songs like this, you know. So, as I said, I try to open up with a catchy riff.
You were talking about Rainbow, but and when I listen like the song "Stand Up and Fight," I can't avoid it. Remind me like "Kill the King" from Rainbow, right?
Yeah. Hey, everybody asking me this, and 2 weeks ago I started with interviews, and the first guy asked me, "Stand Up and Fight." That's kind of like Dio or Rainbow song.
Yeah.
And I said, what? I didn't notice, and I didn't. And when after I finished the interview, I listened back to the song from Rainbow, and I have to say, and I have not apologize, but I have to say, yes, the maybe 2 or 3 bars are quite the same. So wow, I was influenced by accident. But I would like to say thanks, Mr. Dio, and thanks, Mr. Blackmore. But it's one of my favorite bands, all-time favorite bands, the Rainbow guys. And so I think I was influenced by accident. It wasn't, I didn't it obviously.
So you didn't notice when you were recording? No. You didn't notice?
No.
Amazing.
Otherwise I wouldn't have done it. I mean, I'm a little bit ashamed, you know, that it happened to. But it happened to the first time in my whole career that 2 bars are really close to another song. Mm-hmm. Do I have to apologize? Who cares?
No, not at all. No, but also everybody has the influences, right?
Yeah. And when I listened back, as I said, after the interview, I said, oops, this guy was right. Hey, but on the other side, I just want to say a big thank you to the guys from Rainbow. And police didn't knock my door, so.
Oh, that's good news. That's good news. Yeah.
I would sing them a song.
No,
yeah,
but
you're right.
That is also one of the.
Next time I take care about it. And nobody told me
Why?
about it. Even Rick didn't notice, or not the drummer, not the bass band, nobody. We didn't notice. And so we just recorded, and we said, it's a cool song. Yeah, great line. Oops.
And what? Did you say this? Did you tell this to Rick after the interview? Hey, Rick.
No, I have to talk to him right now. Rick, don't do this again. But actually, I came up with this melody, with this vocal melody line, you know. Mm-hmm. So that was maybe back there, up there.
Yeah. Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you cannot hide the influences.
I mean,
it's natural.
If you're looking for something, or that was really by accident. If you're looking for something, I used also the chord of E in F and F sharp. So next time I won't do it anymore, please.
No, but it turns to be a really good song. Despite of that, it is a really catchy song.
But I could sing it right now. Danger, danger.
Dangers. Also, when I just started reading the track list of the album, and before listening to it, I read Teutonic Order, and it says Teutonic Terror.
Yeah, another one.
No, but
maybe I'm getting old and forgot the older albums, you know.
No, but jokes apart, that is a very good.
I've done.
How many?
I can't remember how many albums I've done, so maybe I forgot about this title. I mean, Teutonic is a common word.
Yeah, of course.
And that was actually Rick's idea, because we thought about. I mean, this lyric is a kind of like about Teutonic orders, and Teutonic orders mean that so many leaders of some in the history, they use this kind of like Teutonic orders. And actually, I think the original meaning is coming from the Middle Age and stuff like that, you know. So a Teutonic order, Teutonic, yeah, it's a cool name, and it's a tough word for. It doesn't need any explanation, you know.
Yeah.
So he used it, and I said, "Okay, Rick, I can handle it. I have to do the interviews. Everybody will ask me this for what's Teutonic? Is it Teutonic Terror or Order?" I said, "I will handle this. Yeah." Next time, Rick should give the answer.
You have worked with many singers in your career. How different is Rick comparing to the other singers that you have worked with before?
As every person is different to another person. I mean, he's very easy to handle with in the kind of music I do. Rick and myself, we are matching really good together. And if I give him a vocal line or melody line, he exactly knows what I'm got in my mind, you know. And if he starts then to redo a couple of lines or to do them better, because he's a better singer, of course, than me. It's matching all the time, or mostly. And so with Rick, it's easy for me to sing, to compose and writing songs. And every singer I've worked with, I mean, they got their own personality. That's what you expect from a singer. So you have to handle every singer in a little different way. For example, Fernando Garcia from Victory, you have to handle him a little bit more like rock star. You know, every singer got his own attitude. As bass players, as drummers, or as for sure for guitar players. And so rather you can handle them or you can't. And if you can't handle them, then you can't do any music or any good music.
Mm-hmm. You have been working with Rick for 10 years now, so I guess that you have no...
Is it that long?
I think so, yeah.
My goodness. I have to look for a new singer now.
Time to change.
Hey, he told me he's 30, and I said I won't work with singers over 40. So, Rick, sorry, goodbye.
Time to change.
You're getting too old. No. I mean, he is his best age ever, you know. He's kind of like he's in between the 10 years. If I think back, he's more professional these days, and he knows more exactly how to express himself and how he's handle his voice and the melodies and stuff like that. So, cool.
Yeah, it works perfect. The music that you created, his voice, it matches perfectly together.
I couldn't think about any other singer for my music right now.
Mm-hmm. Don't do it. Rick is quite perfect.
No, I won't. Why should I? No.
But
so Rick, that was just a joke. You're not too old.
But now this year there were also a couple of lineup changes. How does it affect to you these changes?
I mean, it's always sad if people leave, but in these days, a lot of musicians, they don't have the patience to stay for 5 or 6 or 7 years in a certain band. You know, in the older days, you sold much more records, so it was much more easy to stay in one band because you made your money out of one band. These days, everybody's trying to do any projects and lots of projects to earn a little bit kind of money. So it happens that people leave and say, "Oh, I would like to join this band. They might have more success." Or it's I don't know if their thinking is right, because I mean, if you're always looking for the fast success, it may happen or not may happen. I mean, the result you see in the end after 10 years. And these days you won't have success in between 1 or 2 years. There's no one-hit wonder anymore.
Yeah.
And the overnight sensation, it might happen, but the night took very long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Andre left and he joined Bonfire. And actually, I have to say, on Heiko Schröder, the other guitarist, or the guitarist before, he got an offer to work as a day job, really day job, in a good entertainment company. So he said, I have to take this way.
Yeah.
For me, for my feeling, it's more safely, or I do like this business very much. So I do like playing guitar, but on the other side, we can imagine that he might be happy in this way working for the entertainment company. And I said, hey, sure, I would. If I would have the offer at your person, I may have done it too. So I had to look for new guys. And Mike Pessin, he's from Hanover, from my hometown. Mm-hmm. And I produced, I think 7 years ago, his own band, Magisterium. So I started keeping an eye on him. And when there was a chance for last year, I asked him, and he said, oh yeah, would be honored to play with you in one band. And it fits. So we checked it out in the studio, and it is perfectly. He's matching really good with my guitar playing. He's playing guitar in my way of thinking, so cool. And Kevin, I mean, he was mentioned actually by Rick, because we had to find a new drummer, and Kevin is really talented too. Young guy, wild, hits hard, and has fun to play drums. So I'm happy with these guys.
You're just saying that you produced the album of your actual guitar player, but you have been produced your own albums since some years ago. So you are the guitar player and also the producer. Is that a decision that you make on your own to produce your own albums, or you haven't found the right producer?
I would have loved to get produced by Andy Sneap, but when I was asking him, he just started laughing. Hey, it would be an honor to produce an album because I do like you as a guitar player and songwriter, but business is business, and the next time, free time, on my schedule is in 1.5 years. I said, oh, that's too late.
Wow.
And I didn't ask him how much he would charge, you know. Maybe I couldn't afford him.
Yeah.
And he said, hey, Herman, you know, everybody has to earn money. So you're a friend of mine, but I said, hey, stop, Andy. I know what you're talking about. I would love to. I mean, it's always hard to produce your own music, and I really don't want to or like to. That's the reason why I took for the last album and this album. I get Arne Neurand, the guy from the Horror Studio, where we recorded Into the Boat, and that's a guy I kind of like trust, you know, to trust him to charge on my guitars. Or it happens that he says, maybe you should replace this guitar again and just try play it a little bit better.
Okay, so you have this feedback from that.
He tells me quite the truth. But that's what you need, you know.
Exactly.
He also said, "Oh, this lead is not in the way you do it. You should do better." So I go back to my studio, practice, and come come back with a different one, and more. But that's what that's what you're looking for, you know. A guy who is next to you, helping you maybe with arrangements, composing, or you can charge on the singing, can charge on the drums and stuff like that. But with Arne, I found a good one.
Okay. But Andy Snip was your plan A. Wasn't there any plan B?
No. Maybe the guy who produced Aerosmith. Even more money.
Yeah.
Even more waiting.
Just talk to AFM, they will pay it.
Maybe next year. Maybe next year. I mean, there might be a couple of good producers around, you know. There are a lot of good people around, but in the end, then I said, Andy Sneap would be also a guy I would trust because I work with him. And if he tells you, we should do this different, I might believe him, you know. But I wouldn't use a producer who's just putting a couple of knobs and put his finger on the equalizer, you know. That's not producing. I expect from a producer to help with arrangements, composing, and judging. And there are not that many.
But I guess that
there are not many musical producers around.
So how was working for this new album in this strange COVID situation? Was it the same?
Not that much different. Because I managed it. I mean, I was different. I couldn't have had a chance to practice the songs or with the whole band before we recorded in the studio. So we did a lot of testing, and the drummer came by his own. Then after the drummer finishing, the bass player showed up. Then Mike Christine, the other guitar player, showed up. But I couldn't fly over or travel over to Sweden because Rick he's really good in recording by himself in his own studio. And normally I visit him for 1 or 2 weeks, and we go through the songs and record the most of it, and he finishes it up by his own. And that's the reason why we used a lot of Skype, a lot of WhatsApp video and stuff like that, and sending files back and forward. Oh, I'm tired of it. Then, I mean, you send a file at 4 p.m. Then this guy is not around. Then you wait for the answer to 8 p.m. Then you are not around. It's so horrible. But it worked out in the end. I mean, it's just more complicated and needs a little bit more organization. But in the end, it works. But next time, I'm looking forward to have the band for a week before, do a pre-production, and then go to the studio. You know, after a couple of weeks, so everybody got a chance to practice what he needs to practice. And as I said, with Rick, it might be easier or much more comfortable if you do it face to face, because then you see the reaction. If he starts singing, he sees my reaction, and if I start yelling to him, he sees my reaction too.
Talking about other projects that you had, you were in the band Panzer with Schmier and Stefan. Was it just like a one album project, or you couldn't? You just left because you couldn't commit to continue with the band?
I really like to do this album, and I'm part of it, and it worked out well. And I do like the guys, but it's like if you're not married, you know. You're looking always, when you're a youngster, for this girl, maybe this girl. It's kind of like the same situation, you know. You meet somebody, you learn the other person, you see how you're going together and how it's matching, you know. And then you see, maybe not too much at the end of my. And if you're lucky, if you find somebody, you get married and fall in love for the rest of your life, and sometimes not. Oh, it's the same situation.
Just like life, exactly.
It's actually, yes, you said it. It's just like life. And if you have the feeling, oh, it's not the thing I'm really looking for, I really want to put all my efforts in and all my strengthness of doing it, you should do another thing. Mm-hmm. And as you're over 30 or 40, you have kind of like experience with people. Mm-hmm. So use it. Use your experience.
Yeah. And what about a Victory? Do you plan to keep on working with Victory in the future, or Herman Frank is just your main focus?
No, actually, I finished recording last Thursday for the new album, and mix will start on next Monday, upcoming Monday. Oh. So there will be an album end of September. It took that long time because if you want to put out vinyl, these days in Germany you have to handle the FM or the record company your master 4 or 5 months before releasing the album. Mm-hmm. So next new album, very good one. Wow, will come up in September. We might have an interview then.
Why not? Of course.
Sure.
Of course. So, and will you produce the album as well?
Yes.
Again.
Yes. As I said, I get used to it.
How do you make a difference when you're composing for Victory or for Herman Frank? How do you make that distinction?
I don't have just one heart. I have two. I have two hearts, you know. And it's kind of like, it's not that bad situation or this difficult situation. I come up with some tunes for this band and this band, or actually I come up with any new song or new tune or new idea, and then I see, oh, this goes in this direction, so I use it for this one. And I would love to have a third band.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
why not?
I just do like compose music, and as long as I do have ideas, I would like to put them out. So maybe I'm already working on the third project right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Give me a couple of more weeks.
And we can talk again.
I'm getting old, you know, so you have to work fast.
No, but it's good. So you want to say in the same music style or something different?
It's more or less. I mean, I'm known as in this kind of music, you know. It's rock or rather rock metal or something. I wouldn't come up with some reggae band.
Of course.
No, yeah. I produce a couple of different styles of music, and I'm also good in this, and I really do like it because I just like music. But I mean, if there says Herman Frank is in the band, they expect they expect this kind of music, mm-hmm. You know. So I couldn't come up with Pet Shop Boys. And people expect the kind of music I've done my whole life, you know. And from my heart on, I wouldn't like to do other music. There's so much new ideas and so much things you can do in this kind of music. Hey, why should I change?
Mm-hmm. And who are the musicians that will going to join you in this third project?
Hey, surprise!
Surprise! Okay, let's wait.
What kind of present will I get for Christmas?
Well, we are close by, so DHL is not so expensive to Germany.
I think until Christmas you will know.
Okay, good.
You have to wait.
You were talking before. Richie Blackmore was a big influence. Who were your guitar heroes when you started?
Well, when I really started in the age of 16, 16, 17, if you decide, oh, I want to be a guitar player or something, or I want to become rockstar, then Ted Nugent at this time was one of my favorites.
Who's
album, Ted Nugent.
Yeah.
This album Catch Fever, and then came this Double Life Gonzo, and I tried to play all his guitars. I never could. Then for sure Eddie Van Halen came up. The Blackmore and Deep Purple was sure, definitely. Then Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Tony Iommi. Yeah. And these days, I'm quite impressed from Zakk Wylde. Because he got so much feeling in his guitars.
Yeah.
I mean, unbelievable. Yeah. But the style of Deep Purple music, and Rainbow for sure. Rainbow was one of them. Wow. I still remember my first concert when I saw them. I was a youngster. It was with the Rainbow, the tour. Wow. Unbelievable.
That blew up your mind, that show.
Yeah. I was like open mouth.
And do you remember which was your first show, but as a musician?
First, actually, it was with Accept. Really professional ones, yeah. Except for the Rest is Wild when I joined them.
Yeah, well,
I guess it was in Netherlands, maybe. Maybe, yeah, because they played a lot in the older days. They played a couple of shows in the Netherlands. That might have been the first one. One of the first, but don't ask me for the city or something.
No.
I have to say my word. I'm like Aussie. I can't remember.
I can remember. And do you remember which was the first album that you listened to it, that you just shocked you?
Cat Stevens.
Cat Stevens. Huh?
Cat Stevens.
Totally different. Yeah.
I think Morning Has Broken Something. And the second one, for sure, because I got for Christmas, I got how do you call it? Record player? Is it called?
Yeah, the record player.
And one of the first albums was from Uriah Heep.
Yeah.
This album where this face were on with a spin net covered.
I cannot remember that.
Very ample, something like that. Or then Magician's Birthday from Uriah Heep. And then came Van Halen and stuff like that. And the Kings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Old one.
You really.
Yes, I remember the Kings.
You really got me. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And then Van Halen came up with you really got me, and it was quite different. And I said to myself, let's go in this direction, more Van Halen like.
But was it also Scorpions like influence for you, as being German, or not so much?
That was one of my first shows I saw live. I saw them in a kind of like smaller club. Right, they came back from Japan, from their first Japan tour, with Uli John Rothner on guitar. That was Scorpions. Next to my hometown, we traveled with the car, and we said, wow, I would like to play on a stage like this, with that much amplifiers and that loudness. Yeah.
Good.
And I followed them. I mean, if you're out of Germany, you're a musician, you have to follow Scorpions for sure.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
They have really good songs. And really nice guys too.
The last question. With Accept, you had a chance to tour through South America. But what about with your band, Herman Frank?
I would love to. Just fly me over.
But have you ever discussed the possibility to do it?
I mean, there's always a couple of offers, but in the end, if you fly from Europe to South America, at least you have to have a couple of shows,
Yeah.
So it might happen that I really wish I could do this. For my opinion, I would fly right now, go right now to the airport. But it always matters about business.
Yeah. What do you remember from your shows in South America with Accept?
What do I remember?
Yeah.
Crazy people. Totally crazy people. Kind of like different to the German ones.
Yeah, I can imagine that for sure.
I mean, wow. They have They really know how to rock and party.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it a lot. I didn't enjoy the flight. I flew back from Chile
Mm-hmm.
on the last show, as I remember, and it took me 17 hours or something.
Yeah, it's a long flight indeed.
And it was a non-smoking flight.
That was even a major problem, right?
That is the most problem. Maybe that's the reason why I don't come to South America again.
Or you need to sleep at least 12 hours.
Yeah. Next time I use a sleeping pill. Or
that would work a lot.
Or drive or come over by ship.
Herman, it was a real pleasure and an honor for me to talk to you. It was really funny, but a really pleasure to talk to you, to talk to a legend like you are. So thank you for the time. Thank you for your good humor and mood.
So, do the next interview in a couple of months with Victory.
For Victory, of course. I talked to AFM.
Cool.
AFM as well?
AFM as well.
Okay, I will talk to them as
and
well.
And then next year, next summer, be aware.
Let's go to South America.
Ship is waiting. Thanks for spending your time.
Thanks for you, Herman. Have a nice day. And congratulations for the new album.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.